Hi, my name is Dr. Jeff Russer. I'm a sports psychology specialist at the University of Notre Dame. Today, I'd like to talk about social media and how social media impacts us in the sports world. Recent data from the Pew Research Center showed that about 85% of U.S. adults interact with or use social media on a consistent basis. In addition to that, 54% of teens said that it would be difficult or nearly impossible to give up using their social media platform on a consistent basis if they were asked to do so. These are just some statistics that underscore how pervasive and how ever present social media is and can be in our lives. Though it's easy for us to talk about social media and say it's either this great, awesome, good force in our lives, or it's this bad force that we have to be careful of and stay away from. The reality is that it's not simple. It's quite complex, and social media is both good for us, bad for us, and pretty much everything in between. A key to interfacing with social media in a positive way is to maximize the benefits and the real benefits that social media offers us, while also minimizing some of the downsides of social media that admittedly do exist. Before we even kick off, I would challenge you to take out a piece of paper, take out a pen, and just estimate how many hours per day you think you spend on social media. Then go ahead, if you use a smartphone, go to settings, click on screen time, and see how many hours that is in a day. Now, research has shown that most people tend to underestimate this amount. I've had athletes tell me that they think they spend maybe 1 to 2 hours on social media tops. And then they go into their phone and check it, and it's more like 3 or 4 or sometimes 5, 6, and 7 hours spent on social media, depending on how often and what kind of social media they're engaging with. This is just one piece of info and self-reflection that we'll take moving forward here. Let's consider some of the good that social media offers, right? It wouldn't be around if it weren't offering us something beneficial to our lives. Social media has allowed us for the last couple of decades to connect with other people that we may have not been able to connect with before, or connect with people that we would have seen in person, but connect in a more meaningful, frequent way, including photos and life events and so forth. We also know that social media can be a source of creativity and inspiration for athletes. We know that it enables new learning. Athletes can go on and watch short clips on new skills that they're hoping to add into their game and continue building on their craft from there. We know that new opportunities in sports also come through social media. Opportunities to play on a team, opportunities to be recruited to college, and even opportunities to play in professional sports have come from social media. There's also, for high-level athletes, a real benefit to social media in that it allows for increased fan engagement. Professional and some collegiate athletes around the globe are now able to interact with their fans in a new way that gives fans and spectators a peek into their lives and allows them a chance to really connect with them in a new way, understanding how they operate, what they prioritize, and how they go about their days. Social media is also a platform for athletes to speak out on matters that are important to them, whether it's social justice or advocacy or political ideologies, or even their own faith beliefs. Social media has been and provided a platform for that. Also enables an additional platform for income and revenue for some of the select athletes who have a substantial following. But we also know that there's some downsides to social media. Social media is being increasingly linked through research to increases in anxiety and depression, especially with those who are in their teenage years, say 14 to about 18 years old. We also know that social media is another platform in which bullying and slander amongst peers can take place. It can lead to, in even worse cases, discrimination, instances of abuse, threats of violence. And of course, these are things that we would hope to see eradicated, and yet social media sometimes fuels that. In terms of performance, social media can also encroach on or take away from sleep, leading to young people and athletes alike sleeping less than they normally would have. We know that decreased sleep can lead to an increased chance of injury or lead to worse performance for a day or more to come. Social media, we know, can be more and more mentally fatiguing. When we're mentally fatigued, we're less likely to perform well. When we can't think through the game well, we're not going to perform in the way that we know we can. And social media tends to take away from that in direct and indirect ways. So what are we supposed to do with social media with all this being true? The best thing we can do is aim to maximize the positive benefits and decrease some of the downfalls or pitfalls of social media. One place I recommend to athletes frequently to start is to focus on identifying and being able to identify in themselves and others problematic social media use. That includes noticing an inability to stop using social media even when they want to, going to great lengths to make sure they maintain access to social media, their smartphone, so on, ignoring or experiencing urges to get on social media and that interrupting their day-to-day activity, and other components that the APA and really good research has outlined in the last few years. Another tip that I share with athletes is to be selective. Social media opens up tons of doors for us to connect with others. That doesn't mean we have to open every door. We can close some of those doors, so to speak. It can be a really smart idea to change settings so that DMs can't reach our inbox from fans that might be angry or have critical messages to share, and we don't value those. We might experience receiving a message from a peer who is mean-spirited or worse, abusive in their remarks, and we can report that. We don't have to take on everything that is sent our way, and we can be selective in that way. I would encourage anybody who uses social media to engage in more active use rather than passive use. Active use is using social media to message someone, to share a funny reel, to comment on somebody's post, whereas passive use is the more passive scrolling we all fall into from time to time. A couple last tips. One would be to do a social media detox. A detox is just deleting your apps. It doesn't mean that you have to delete your accounts, but delete the apps off your smartphone. Don't go to the websites or block the websites on your computer, whether that's for a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or a couple of months. It can really help to provide perspective and give us a way to re-experience life without social media, putting into perspective and allowing us to consider how much time do I really want to be spending on social media. And then finally, continue connecting in person. Use social media as a way to connect to the people you want to get to know, to stay connected with the people you already know and care about, and experience those three-dimensional in-person hangouts that sport provides us. I'm wishing you all the best of luck as you continue your social media journey. One reminder is it's not about getting it perfect, but it's about a continual mindful approach to it, to consider what I want in my life, what's most important to me, and what do I value, and how is social media adding to that, and what are some ways that it might be taking away, and adjusting from there. Good luck moving forward. Thanks a lot.